Listen, right now there's something blocking you from being as smart as you could be. And the scary part? You probably think intelligence is something you're either born with or you're not. Wrong. Dead wrong. See, most people think smart people just know more facts, more answers, more everything. But that's not how it works at all. The real difference isn't what's in their brain. It's how they use their brain, how they think, how they see problems, how they handle stress. And here's the crazy part. You can learn this. In the next 6 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how smart people think differently. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You'll start using these ideas immediately, and people will notice. So let's dive in. Here's the thing about intelligence. It's not about memorizing stuff or getting straight A's. It's about mental habits, small ways of processing information that most people never figure out. Smart people have 5 specific thinking patterns that set them apart. 5 simple things they do automatically that you can start doing today. And the best part? None of this requires talent, just awareness. 1. They don't fight to be right. You know that person who turns every disagreement into World War III? The second you challenge their opinion, boom, instant battle mode. No, you're wrong. That's ridiculous. You don't know what you're talking about. But here's what's really happening. When people fight to be right, they stop learning. Their brain shuts down. All their energy goes into defending their position instead of understanding yours. They miss new information, they damage relationships, and ironically, they look less smart because everyone can see they're just protecting their ego. Smart people do something totally different. Instead of fighting, they ask questions, real questions. Help me understand why you think that. They're not trying to win, they're trying to learn. Listen to me carefully. You can't force someone to agree with you, but you can help them think through their ideas, and when they do that, they often change their own minds. That's real influence. 2. They see the big picture. Most people get completely destroyed by small problems. They fail one test and spiral into, I'm stupid, I'll never succeed, my life is over. Someone rejects them and it becomes, I'm worthless, nobody likes me. But here's what's really happening. They're zoomed in so close they can't see anything else. It's like staring at a single pixel on a TV screen and thinking that's the whole show. Smart people zoom out, like a camera. They don't see one bad test, they see a pattern. Okay, I failed this math test. What else was going on that week? Was I sleeping enough? Do I need a tutor? They don't see rejection as proof they're not good enough. They see it as information. This didn't work. What can I try differently next time? When you zoom out, problems become puzzles, and puzzles can be solved. 3. They only worry about what they can change. You know those people who are stressed all the time? They're worried about everything, what their friends think, whether it'll rain tomorrow, what someone said about them 3 years ago. But here's what's really happening. All that worry does absolutely nothing except drain their energy. 0 problems get solved. They're just running on a mental treadmill, exhausting themselves while staying in the same place. Smart people have a simple rule. If I can't control it, I don't think about it. Can't control if it rains? Don't think about it. Can control bringing an umbrella? Do that. Can't control what people think? Don't think about it. Can control being kind and honest? Do that. This saves them so much energy. Energy they can use to actually solve problems and make things better. 4. They use quiet as a tool. Most people are terrified of silence. You're in a conversation, there's a pause, and instantly they panic, word vomit, nervous rambling, saying the first thing that pops into their head. But here's what's really happening. They're so uncomfortable with silence that they'll say anything to avoid it. And in the process, they dilute everything they say. Their words lose meaning because there are just too many of them. Smart people are comfortable with quiet. They think before they speak. They listen more than they talk. And here's something interesting. Silence makes people pay attention. When you pause before answering, people assume what you're about to say matters. Try this. Next time someone asks you a question, count to 3 before answering. Just 3 seconds. You'll be amazed how much better your answers become.
5. They pause instead of reacting. Most people react instantly. Someone cuts them off in traffic, rage. Someone says something mean, they snap back. No thought, just pure reaction. But here's what's really happening. They're letting external events control their internal state. Someone else does something and they hand over all their power. You made me mad. You ruined my day. The person who reacts instantly is never in control. They're a puppet, and everyone else is pulling the strings. Smart people pause. When something bothers them, they take a breath. Is this worth getting upset about? What's the best way to handle this? This isn't about being weak. This is about being smart. The person who stays calm when everyone else gets emotional, that person has power. So here's what all of this means. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room. You don't need to know everything. You don't need perfect grades or a fancy education. You just need to think differently than most people. Ask questions instead of arguing. Look for patterns instead of panicking. Focus on what you can control. Get comfortable with silence and pause before you react. If your brain feels cluttered right now, it might not be because you're not smart enough. It might be because you're using thinking patterns that don't work. The fighter who needs to win every argument, the panicker who can't see past one problem, the worrier who wastes energy on things they can't control, the rambler who's scared of silence, the reactor who gives their power away. These patterns slowly make you feel less capable, day by day, conversation by conversation. But here's the good news. Now you know. Now you can see them clearly. And changing how you think isn't hard. It's not magic. It's not impossible. It's just practice. Your intelligence isn't fixed. Your potential isn't limited. You just needed someone to show you how smart people actually think. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one of these 5 habits, just one, and practice it this week. Notice the difference. And if this video helped you see something clearly for the first time, hit that like button and subscribe. Share it with someone who needs to hear this, because we all need to think better, and it starts with understanding how.